You're such an asshole.
Greetings and salutations, it's assholeconsulting.com, and our client is in Ireland, and I thought I would dress for the occasion. Plus, I owe this to him. He's been a patient sport because I had some additional questions, but Sean writes, Hello, Senior Clary. Return customer here. I am emailing to request your opinion on my assessment of the situation. I was being pursued by an IT recruiter for a role in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The job would involve a move from Dublin, Ireland. Initially, I was offered 65,000 euro, which is roughly 65,000 US, per year, tax-free, expenses not covered, already on 38,000 euro per year in Dublin. And I thought that was a little low, but we'll get to that later. While preparing for the interview over the course of 2 weeks, I discovered the information below was supplied incorrectly by the recruiter. And I'm not going to go into the details because this looks copy and pasted. So let's just say it was he does IT work. We'll put it that way. When I discussed the reason behind the different details supplied, they increased the salary to 84,000 plus an annual bonus. So in other words, he was told one job, and then when he got the job description in a little bit more detail, it was a completely other job, and there was mission creep. It was more than what he was originally said. They said, oh, okay, here's another 20,000 euro and an annual bonus. My decision resulted in refusing the role at this time to proceed to the UAE for the money once all my IT certificates are in place. This, I believe, puts me in a better bargaining position when returning to the United Arab Emirates roles as a contractor. Do you think they were pulling the old bait and switch on me by luring my then once over there running me into the ground? Then once over there, comma. Luring me in, comma, then once over there running me into the ground. I would not doubt it in half a second. Just because they're United Arab Emirates doesn't mean they're any less or more moral than the United States. And then, yeah, it does. It totally sounded like mission creep. And so that's why they're all of a sudden backpedaling and offering you more. An email request is preferably, but it's okay to be a video if it would help other people dealing with job offer contract negotiations from the West to the Middle East. So then I asked a couple other questions. I'm like, okay, you explained that it was mission creep because there was a lot of stuff. Again, I don't want to go into the detail of the duties. It seemed like there was a little bit more hours involved. Hang on. And then I also asked about, wait a minute, you're making only 38K? And he went through his resume a little bit. I'm like, you're only making 38 grand with that kind of resume? He's saying Ireland is completely flooded with IT professionals. And that they're a dime a dozen, and that there's progressive credentialism creeping into Ireland, where it's like, well, you need all these certifications, now you need degrees. So they have their pick of the litter. And then he was also a little bit concerned about cost of living and all this other stuff. So then what else? He can work remotely, blah, blah, blah. Then I asked him, all right, look, what, 38K, well, fuck. You could be a good bartender, I know, here in the States, and you make more than 38K. And so here's what I'm going to recommend, or my observations as they were. One, yes, it is mission creep. Two, they might have tried the old bait and switch. Three, all that doesn't matter. You want to know why? Because it's still a better deal over there in the United Arab Emirates, especially since they're almost doubling your salary. Well, not doubling, but a hefty, like a 70% increase of your salary. Also, it's tax-free, and then also, everyone's like, oh my god, the cost of living in Dubai is so expensive, and I looked at it, and at first I thought, no, that can't be right. It says Dublin's more expensive than Dubai. That's not right. And I looked at it, Dubai is actually not that expensive. Now, if you want to be a dipshit and live like in the world's tallest building, or one of these man-made, constantly sinking, flooding, where David Beckham's got his yacht house on those palm trees in the middle of the Red Sea? No, they're on the Persian Gulf. That's where it is. Yeah, look, and then it comes down. That's the Red Sea by Egypt. Yeah, and then Peninsula, then Persian Gulf. Yeah, that's what it is. If you want to live in the ritzy area, yeah, you could blow all your money like you can in any major metropolitan area. But I was looking at if you just want to live on the cheap, you actually could. Also, I said, well, how wedded are you to staying in Ireland, or have you gotten your fill of traveling, or would you like to travel? He's like, no, I don't mind traveling. I've been to a couple places. Dude, the way they're fucking you over, frankly, I think they're fucking you over. Now, I understand the law of supply. If the market is flooded with them, well, that's what the free market is. That's what the equilibrium price is. And you guys are paid $38,000 a year for a pittance. But, man, I would go where the money is. Because what are you giving up in Ireland? Let's say the worst comes to worst. You're paid your $84,000 tax-free. It's the bait and switch. You're working 60 hours a week instead of 40. But look at what you get. You get a lot more pay, probably a lot more experience, and that's what's set up there. It's tax-free. Then what else? Oh, and you're in a completely different world you've never been to before. And as always, because I guess IT guys are a cookie-cutter commodity that it doesn't really matter who you are out there, you could always go back to Ireland if you wanted to. What I recommend, coming to the United States and maybe making a little bit of extra money. If the home market, the home field is that shitty to play in, go play somewhere else. This is no different than all these dipshit kids of my generation, even when the Bakken oil fields were starting to take off. All you had to do was drive one day into North Dakota, and then there was almost six-figure jobs for people who just showed up on time and willing to work their ass off. And people were here like, oh, it's too far away, it's cold. Why can't I find a job? I'm just slinging coffee. Dude, go to where the money is, because so what? What are you giving up in Ireland? Nothing much, it doesn't sound like. And even if it is the old bait and switch, so what? All right, so you work your ass off a little bit more, and you gotta, if they really fuck you over, they completely fuck you. Make sure they don't take your passport. Make sure you got 2 passports. Matter of fact, I get 2 passports. Make sure you can get the fuck out of there. There's always those stories about, well, they'll take your passport so you're forced to work there. Make sure you can get the fuck out, all right? So backup passport, and don't let them take it. Say, no, I'm keeping my passport. And they say, well, you got to go back on the plane. Say, well, fine, fuck you. I'm going back on the plane. So, but yeah, assuming no hanky-panky like that, you'll get an experience. You'll get to see a different part of the world. From what I read and researched about the United Arab Emirates, specifically Dubai, it sounds like it's like the Star Wars cantina. All different countries and worlds and people are going there. Are very cosmopolitan. You'll meet some refugees, or not refugees, expats, so you can hang out with fellow Irishmen in town. You may not meld with the local culture. As a matter of fact, most people don't. It's not going to be a long-term move. It's something I absolutely would do just to check it out. And then the second they fuck with you and it's no longer worth it, get your ass back to Ireland and apply for a shitty-ass IT job. And then at least you have that story. At least you went there and now you know. You could even write a book about it. You could blog about it. You could do something about it. And if you're bored, you don't like the culture, you know what? Then at night you just hunker down and you get your IT certification. So yeah, I would totally do the Dubai thing. Double check on your passport. Make sure you keep your passport and you can get the fuck out of there. That's the key thing. So otherwise, yeah, good luck and have fun in old Emerald Isle. Tools.